Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today's going to be a little bit different, and we got several nursery chores to do out here today. We've got a bunch of pots we need to deal with because of a little varmint puppy we have. We've got weeding to do. We've got some organizing and arranging of all sorts of plants and things out here that we need to do, and we just want to bring you along with us today as we're doing some things out here just to show you a little bit of what it looks like to have things to do in the backyard nursery. So kind of as we're working and doing things out here, today we want to just show you what that's like. So come along with us, and maybe there's something here for you to enjoy or learn as we do our thing. Hey, if you're new here on my channel, it's good to see you, and if you're not, it's good to see you again. But either way, I'd really love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Hit the button right down below that says subscribe on it, and hit the notifications bell, and that would be awesome. And my channel's got 4,000 and something subscribers, I think now. I can't even remember the number, but I'm thankful for every one of you. I'm glad you're watching. This is fun. We have a good time here. I appreciate all your comments and questions, and I'm glad you're along with me. Well, I'm standing out back of our little shed here, and this is where I keep most of my pots piled up back here. And ever since this little varmint has come into our lives, oh yes, you're so wonderful. Ever since this little varmint has come into our lives and she's gotten bigger, she has taken a liking, Penny, she's taken a liking to destroying nursery pots. And as you can imagine, dog, are you crazy? I'm not real super happy about that. So we're gonna have to get these pots a different home. And all right, you gotta get down. We gotta get these nursery pots a different home. And as you are aware, there's hardly any room in our backyard. So we're actually gonna put these into the loft inside our barn. Let me show you why. She's been grabbing these pots out here, and as you can see, you can, I guess, pop these out and still grow okay plants in them. But I don't think people are going to be thrilled when they see pots that are chewed up by a dog. And anyway, we got to do something with these, so we're going to put them in the barn. And we've put the pots over here on this side of the barn, and now they're ready to go right up there. So check this out.
Okay.
All right, Carly, you can...
Up. Okay.
Whoa, it's on this time.
Got it. Good job. Okay.
And the last one. And just like that, pretty good pile.
Woo!
Pretty good pile of pots in the top of the barn here.
Okay. All right, Chloe, these are some of the green giant arborvitaes that we potted up in June or July. Do you remember?
July.
Because when you came home from camp. Okay, so they're getting kind of weedy. They're growing really well, but they're getting kind of weedy. So what we want to do is today we're going to be pulling out any of these unwanted weeds from the pots and just throw them over here on the ground. We'll take them to the compost when we're done, but we want to pull all these out because we want to make sure that they are growing healthy. So some of these are really getting out of control, and we got to get them out of here. But those, some of them are kind of tiny and are easy to do. We may
see one anywhere that's really bad that has a big weed?
Yeah, there's one right there. Oh, there's one over there that's got like 4 or 5 in it.
Now, some of the weeds are
That one.
kind of huge here, so you can imagine what this turns into when you just let it go.
We have a tree.
Nice. That's great. And I don't know if y'all have ever heard me mention this before or not, but I hate weeds. Like, I really do hate weeds.
So this one looks like you're growing something
Yeah,
with
that's pretty bad.
your tree.
Isn't it crazy though that we potted that in fresh potting soil, and in just a couple of months it's that bad?
This one's really tight. Let me put it down so I can get it out.
This one's pretty big.
Yeah. Chloe, that definitely needs to go.
Oh, wow, that's quite a root there.
Wow.
So we've got about 20, 25 of these that we've pulled out that we're weeding to show you guys what we have to do. But we've got, I don't know, about 1,200 of these. Craig sold a few last weekend in a plant sale, but we got about 1,200 of these that we do this to. And it's part of those chores that we have to do in the nursery to keep plants healthy and happy. So as we're going through these arborvitaes, we found a couple that just didn't make it. So off to the compost they go.
So while we've been out here today doing a few chores, I remembered that I wanted to show you guys these dappled willows. And you can see this thing is probably just over 8 feet tall, and it's kind of funny to see a tree or a bush, whatever you call a dappled willow, that's growing this tall in a pot that's that small. And that's a trade gallon pot, the same pots I use for almost everything. And the reason it looks like this is because this plant has deeply, deeply rooted through the bottom of the pot and into the ground. And that just shows you that, yes, things can root through the bottom of the pots and even go through this ground cover. But it's kind of funny out here to see a plant this huge in such a tiny pot, but yet the wind won't blow it over. And it just looks kind of ridiculous standing here as if somebody messed up. And yeah, I have messed up. I've left them sitting here way too long, and when you see this, it's just kind of obvious to say something don't look right about that. But once they're dormant this winter, I'll be able to cut the roots under the bottom and I'll be able to use them and they'll do fine. But until then, they're just gonna have to stay put. It'd be hard to do much of a video about nursery chores without showing watering, because here's the thing. Watering is about the #1 chore you're going to do. This takes probably 15 minutes a day to do this throughout the growing season, and you got to be pretty diligent to stay on top of it. And it takes me about 15 minutes with, I don't know, there's probably 1,500 plants out here. It's just a big part of what you spend your time doing. So I could make a video 15 minutes long every single day of nothing but what you see here, and it's just a part of it. So it is late September now, and really propagation season for plants is over. It's time to turn the mist off. We're going to do that today, so we'll get the mist turned off. We'll start taking the mist system apart and start getting all these rooted plants under it. There's, I say all these like there's a million, but whatever rooted plants we have left under here, and we'll get them put into a different spot so they can continue whatever's left of the growing season, and we'll get them fertilized, watered, and they can just be on their way to being healthy and as big as they can before the dormant season comes when we get our first heavy frost. These are some of the plants that we've propagated this year. We pulled these out from the mist. There's more just like these under there. These are Rheingold arborvitas and evergreen arborvita hedge. These are silver dollar, no, excuse me. These are Annabelle hydrangeas in this tray, and it looks like every one of them have taken except maybe, I don't know, maybe a couple of them haven't. These are oak leaf hydrangeas here. I've showed you those. These are silver dollar hydrangeas here. I've showed you those. And it looks like the Shasta daisies were 0 for 50 on them, but then that's just the way it goes sometimes. So maybe we'll try them again next year. But anyway, we'll take these newly propagated plants, put them in the shade house with the others, and start fertilizing them and just let them grow and grow and grow as much as they can until they go dormant. And now I'm adding this liquid fertilizer. It's just a plant starter fertilizer that I put on all of my new plant starts when I take them out of the mist. And I've showed you this in another video, and I'll put a link to it on the right side of the screen. And you just drench your cuttings, your plugs, your newly formed cuttings. You just drench them with this fertilizer. once you take them out. And all these plants over here, a little bit bigger, but these were all rooted this season too. And I'm just going to do this to pour out the rest of my fertilizer here that's in my bucket. And all of these trays here are most of what I have propagated this summer, minus maybe 8 or 10 dish pans of arborvitas and maybe a few junipers, a few dianthus, but this is probably 80 or 90% of my propagated plants, most of which is hydrangeas, a few spireas, a few junipers here, but this is what we've been growing this summer. Well, thanks for coming out into the backyard with us. We had a few chores to do today, and just wanted to show you what some of it looked like. In some ways, this video has been a little bit more vlog style, and in some ways it's been a bit of a train wreck, but thanks for sticking with us. We hope you guys enjoy what we're doing here. We enjoy sharing it with you, and I'm glad you're along for the ride. Love all of you. Hope to see you on the next one.